It's now time for Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of the staff nor the management of KWN TV 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Now, let's go Around Town on KWN TV 7.
We were making a joke about Evan. Imagine that. Well, we have been promising you a World War II show, right, Bob?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
And Here we are to do it. But I am going to leave it to Bob and the gentleman that'll be up here in a few minutes, because nobody wants to hear me sit up here and blunder and probably cry. So I'm going to leave it to the heroes. And they will be three, and soon a fourth will join. Gentlemen here that truly are heroes. So Mr. Woods, General Woods, and the other three men that he's going to be here with. And you can talk about your movie stars and your sports figures and all that, but these gentlemen are heroes.
Yeah, they really are. The thing that I'm always very sincerely appreciative of Brother Bain and Charlie and Slim and James Laney, who can't make it today because of a death in his church in Chattanooga. In fact, it just happened this morning. They set the example for the rest of us.
You got it.
That's the bottom line.
You got it.
That's the bottom line. It's, you know, and the thing about it is that they set the example. They served their country, right, and their families supported them, and they supported America, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
And
right. These men, when you think back and you go vote and you get out here and you don't like something and you voice your opinion about it, these men and women are still fighting for us. That's the reason we can do that.
That's right. That's right. You know, and the thing about it is today is that these gentlemen here have seen combat, right? They've lived that life, but there's also positive and fun things that are associated with life in the military at times, right? You know, and we can share some of that today as well.
And you meet people that you make lifetime friends with,
right?
And continue to be friends with over the years. People that you've fought side by side and laughed side by side.
Right. And I'll tell you what's kind of funny. I was in the military for over 30 years, and then I did a corporate gig in Huntsville for a while. We were at a meeting, a business meeting at Barnes & Noble is where they decided to have it at, so I was there. And I'm meeting there, and there's a couple of retired soldiers there as well. And this gentleman tells the following story. He goes, "This is so typical why my wife would get mad at me." And I said, "Okay, well, why is that?" He goes, "Well, my wife would say, I've known her family for over 20-something years, right? And it never really clicked that well. You know, wasn't a whole lot of laughter and camaraderie." He goes, "But she could get mad because you run into somebody who served in the Army with you, right? Or in the same unit that you were in, and there's that bond there, right? And you're laughing together and you're sharing stories, and there's a bond there between people that have served. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
And it's just I appreciate anyone who has been in the military, anyone. And these men, World War II, that holds a special place in my heart. Like I've told many times on this show, my dad was in the Navy in World War II. My brother was in the Vietnam era, was drafted. That's when you got that letter.
Oh, yes, yep.
Greetings. And then it's like, oh, dear. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and I'm going to quit rattling because, like I said, we've got some heroes going to come up here and talk and with Bob and hear all about what they did. Of course, General Woods here, he served, like he said, 30 years. He gave to our country, and what a great, great inspiration these men should be for our young people today.
No doubt about it.
We will be right back.
All right, good. All right.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College wants to help put you to work. Our programs in business, health, industrial, and public service will train you for the jobs available today. GNTC offers schedules in day, evening, and online classes at 5 campus locations with financial aid options too. You are sure to find a career path that works for you with our variety of degrees, diplomas, and certificates available. Visit us in person or on the web at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your career begins here.
A small bank with big service. Citizens Bank and Trust, offering a wide range of services, including online banking. Pay your bills, manage your account anytime, 24 hours a day. Your account balance is only a phone call away as well at 657-1234. Or visit our convenient locations. Lookout Mountain, Georgia, Higdon, Alabama, and our main branch on Highway 11 in Trenton. Citizens Bank and Trust, 657-5678. A community bank that believes in the community. Citizens Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hungry? How about lunch at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon? Weekdays, Cloud's Pizza serves their delicious hot vegetable bar. How about the best burgers and fries around? And yes, pizza. Make sure to get an order of their famous cheese sticks, homemade with fresh dough and Wisconsin cheese. And don't miss Fish Fry Friday, catfish, hush puppies, and more, all for just $8.99 Friday, 4 p.m. to close. Cloud's Pizza, Alabama Highway 71 in Higdon, 597-3100. Open till 8, Monday through Saturday at Cloud's Pizza.
Hi, I'm Randy, the safe guy from Randy's Pawn Shop. You know your gun collection is worth a lot of money. Protect your firearms from fire and theft with a Liberty safe. We have only the best at Randy's Pawn Shop, and Liberty safes are top of the line. They use state-of-the-art manufacturing process, giving you a high-quality safe at affordable prices. Liberty offers interior lights and accessory door panels. No wonder Liberty is America's #1 safe manufacturer. Come see me, Randy, the safe guy at Randy's Pawn Shop. I'll protect your guns and peace of mind.
Hey everybody, bacon is back at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
That's right, it's Little Caesars Bacon Wrapped Crust Deep Dish Pizza. Our 8-corner pizza topped with pepperoni and bacon and wrapped in more than 3.5 feet of bacon. Get a large today for just $12. Little Caesars Bacon Wrapped Crust Deep Dish Pizza is available all day. And it's available hot and ready from 4 until 8 every day. Little Caesars, Highway 136 West in Trenton and 411 Kimball Crossing in Kimball.
When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710.
You like bluegrass? How about the High Lonesome Hayride? Sunday nights at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on KWN TV.
All right. Well, great. Good day, y'all. We have some veterans of our community here with us today, and I'm very, very proud to be sitting up here with them. We have Charlie Hitt, of course, and he served in the Navy and the U.S. Army Air Corps as well. And of course, we have Brother D.D. Bain, right? Who's a preacher.
Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah, you got it.
Pleased to be here with you.
I'm sure.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yes,
Brother Bob.
yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, this is great, and just like Ann said before she stepped out a few minutes ago, we're very proud of the military heritage that Dade County has. There's no doubt about that. We are proud of our service for our nation. And I'm very proud to be someone who served in uniform years after these gentlemen did, and they've got quite a story to tell. Charlie, if you don't mind, why don't you give everybody an overview of your career, sir?
Lord, we go back a long ways. Well, I enlisted in the Navy in 1944.
Yep.
I was in my last year of high school, and another friend of mine was too, and we went over to the draft board to see if we could finish high school before getting drafted, and he said, hell no, you boy's name is coming up, you're going. So my friend was drafted in the Army, and I didn't want to go Army, I wanted to go Navy. So 4 days before I turned 18, Dad signed the consent papers,
right,
and I went up to Fort Oglethorpe and enlisted in the Navy, and went through boot at Great Lakes, and then on to California, aboard ship at Mare Island,
right,
on out to South Pacific, the 3rd Fleet 58 Task Force, and we got hit by a kamikaze off Okinawa on 11th April of 45, and it killed 38 men and wounded 50.
55, right?
Yeah.
Right, yes, sir.
And so that was in 11th of April of 45. The war was over in August of 45, and I wanted out, and everybody else did, because I enlisted for the duration of the war in 6 months, and I thought it was time for me to get out. So I went up and talked to the executive officer, and he knew Rising Fund, how they used to mine iron and iron ore with the old furnace there.
Right.
And he said, "Ride home and get 3 letters, and I'll get you out." And I did. I said, "You want them notarized?" And he said, "Yes." I did, and he said, "Ride home and get 1 more." And I did, and that got me out. So I got out on a dependency discharge, I guess. So then I've been out for a year and a half, and there was no job to speak of around here. So I went back to enlist in the Navy, and he wouldn't let me go back in because I got a dependency discharge. So I walked down the street to the Army recruiting office, and they'd sign me up. I'm going in the Army Air Corps. And that's when I went in the Army Air Corps, and then
That's great.
after that, a while the Air Force split off, and I stayed Air Force.
Yes, sir. Right.
And I stayed in and got my 20 years in.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, Brother Bean, how about give everybody out there an overview of your career, sir?
Well, thank you, Brother Bob, and greetings to every one of them. I kind of sit here and say that every Sunday afternoon.
You sure do.
But it's so good to have this privilege to really look back. And every time I look back, Brother Bob, and I see what a project it was, in fact, that Second World War that we were in, and to think about all of the activities and the number of people that passed away. In this little book, there's, I believe it's 20 cemeteries, and on the back there is the number of men we left over there.
Very good.
That just,
Yeah.
if I find something pertaining to the wars and think about the ones that we had to leave behind, it is so amazing what war can do for people. But I personally thank the Lord, because many, many, many times I shouldn't have been here today, I guess, because I saw men die in war, and it's not easy to look upon it. My position was to help those wounded as a medic and do the best I could. But I'm so glad, and every time I have the chance to really tell it, I'm so glad to be a part of what I've seen. And then we thought we were doing something for our future,
Right.
our great nation. And I'm always so thrilled when I see what has been done with through our military and the victories that finally was ours.
Yes, sir.
I went to England a few days before D-Day. And so when D-Day finally started, we loaded on the boat, started to Normandy. Well, we got out on the channel,
Right.
20 miles across that channel to France.
Right.
So we got out on the channel, it come a storm, and we were blocked out there with all of that equipment trying to get to the shore of France. We were blocked in, and storm was on us, and we ran out of food. Had to turn around and get back to England and load up with some food. And lo and behold, when we all got that convoy out there off the shore,
Right.
is absolutely amazing. But one of those big ships we were on, it wasn't the one I was on, but it was right there close to it.
Right.
This big ship just broke half in two.
Oh my gosh.
Half in two and separated right
Woo,
there.
well,
And
it's
so
a good thing you weren't on that one, huh?
Yes. But then finally the storm subsided and we got close.
Good.
A few miles out there, really. We couldn't get in a few miles of the shore. So we had to take little small bass boats almost.
Right.
Fishing boats.
Yeah, in order to get.
Work us through the blown up equipment of
Right,
all
right.
kinds in that,
Yes, sir.
in that water on the shore. But anyway, that let us know we were in war.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No, that's important. You know,
Yeah.
it's. Hey, Charlie, what do you think? What was your first impression when you first joined the military? What you have a memory like when you first enlisted?
Well, you know, back then we had a lot of esprit de corps. I mean, if you were old enough to be in the service, you're in the service,
Right.
and you hate to see your friends or your buddies going in, and you wasn't quite old enough to get in. You know.
Right.
And there was the ones walking down the street, they couldn't pass a physical to get anyway, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, it was esprit de corps more than anything else because you wanted to be in there, you wanted to be part of it. I guess that's the best way to say it. I don't know how to put it.
No, I think that makes total sense to me. It really does. Yes, sir.
And that's the reason why. And, of course, at the age of 17, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, you know. I said then I'd never come back this place to live. Well, it took me 40 years to come back here.
Right.
You know, so it took a little while.
Yes,
A little while. 4 overseas tours and 7 different states living and whatnot, you know. And
Yes, sir. Right.
I think I can get along just about any place I go, you know.
Right. Well, you
It
know,
makes you appreciate other people.
absolutely right. You know, I mean, that's the key thing about all of us that have served is that, you know, it's kind of interesting. When you're growing up, you're like, okay, I'm going to get out of my little hometown, wherever it is, right? You know, you want to go see some things, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Everyone goes around. But what's good about where we're from here in Trenton is that, you know, when you come back, right, you feel like I'm back home now. I've seen the world, you know, but this is where I need to be, you know.
That's true.
But, you know,
Very true.
And Brother Bain, how about you? You know, when you first enlisted, what was your initial take when you first joined?
Well, I didn't really know what was ahead, I guess. I just said, well, I have to go, I'll go.
Right.
But when I got on the front line, we finally hit the front line, the German soldiers.
Right.
About the first thing in a few minutes after we ran into them, they shot my canteen right off my belt. And just left a scratch on my side. But anyway, I said, we're in war.
Yes, sir. Right. Yeah.
And boys calling me all directions to come and help them, you know.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, you know, when you're in combat, you know, everyone knows is that you're there for your country, but you're fighting for that man that's right beside you, aren't you?
Right.
Exactly right. You know, you're out there looking
Yeah.
out for him and that type of thing. There's no doubt about that. You know, and that's something that every man and woman that's ever served in the military understands. You know, you were there, you're training with them, right?
Yes.
You know, you've got your role, they've got theirs, and you're gonna work together to make it happen, right?
Well, there were so many getting wounded on that first contact. They were waiting on us, you know.
Yes, sir. Right.
And so I knew that we had some boys were called litter bearers back behind a little bit, and I was started back there to try to find them, get a little help, and I heard a big shell coming.
Right.
And I was on a little one-lane road, but they had a ditch about a foot deep on each side of that little old road up through the woods. And I hit that ditch on my face. Brother, that big old 2-foot shell hit right by my side.
Whew.
Right by my side.
Well,
I seen that thing, that about 8 in diameter and about 2 feet long.
Right.
And that thing hit right by my side, bounced on out through the woods, and didn't explode.
Wow. Well, Brother Bain, you know, I always believe this, that, you know, God has a plan for all of us and that type of thing, right?
Yes, sir.
And the fact that your canteen got shot off of you, and then an explosion, occur right next to you, but you're here today and you're a preacher for our community. Well, that was God's thing. Charlie, what are you looking at over there, sir? What do you got?
Show you I did retire. That general shaking my hand and handing me my retirement paper.
There you go. Very good. All right. Well, so this is legit, huh?
That's legit.
Yeah, look at that fine-looking young man there, Charlie.
That's at Charleston Air Force Base. Yes, sir. And I've got a sailor's diary that I wrote.
Absolutely.
During World War II.
Right.
But you might have been caught, they'd have probably court-martialed me.
Well, I think it's great because, when you were talking to my good friend Gary Bell here a while back, right?
Right.
You told him all about your diary and how you were annotating
betcha.
things, especially during the kamikaze attack, right?
Right.
Yes, sir. That's important. It's important, and because the thing about it is that, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marine, and Coast Guard, they, we should capture as much as we can, right? So we can share it with our families or our friends because they want to know what happened to us and what's going on.
Yes, sir.
What do you got here, Brother Bain?
That's a way down under the ground.
Yes, sir.
And they have a tunnel with the gun placements out there facing the channel.
Right.
And this is their way down a ladder, right straight down, and then they could get to their gun.
I got it.
Emplacements.
Brother Bain is showing us a picture here of a foxhole, right, that led to an underground tunnel where it went to a gun placement position in the right.
Looking out over the coast.
The coastline, yes, sir. Right, absolutely right.
That is a place in Dachau.
Oh, yes, sir. I've been there.
I had the privilege to go back 50 years after.
Is that right?
April. No, but 94.
Yeah, yes, sir.
50 years later.
My family and 94. I went there as well, and it gives you something to think about, doesn't it, sir?
They said that they'd take them in this room here and gas them.
I know.
That's what they told
well,
us. Anyway.
It's great that men like you and Charlie helped stop infamous men like Hitler and that type of thing who were doing those type of things. Well, gentlemen, we're going to take a break here for a minute, right? And then we're going to be back on TV in just a second.
Okay.
Romans Mobile Homes can help make the dream of home ownership come true. Come by and see our on-the-line selection of manufactured homes or sit down with us and let us custom design your top-of-the-line constructed manufactured home. With names like Cabco and Clayton, we can design anything from 1 to 6 bedrooms, shingle or metal roof, finished drywall, and more. All our homes come with central heat and air, including a heat pump. Financing available, and prices include delivery and setup. See us today at Romans Mobile Homes, 2019 Highway 136 West, just west of the four-way stop, top of Sand Mountain. 706-657-8807. Romans Mobile Homes.
Delivering top-quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Doing your taxes yourself is just not a good idea, especially with changes in the Affordable Care Act and college tax implications. Nancy Anderton at NL Tax and Bookkeeping has been serving the Tri-State area since 1978. Let NL Tax and Bookkeeping use their knowledge and expertise to get you the correct refund fast. Ask about direct deposit and fast returns. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 to 6 Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 to 2 Eastern on Saturday. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 657-4758 or 597-2829. Friend us on Facebook at NL Tax for the latest tax information. A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology, the Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main office is on Highway 11 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Dobbins Supermarket, serving the community for over 70 years with fresh-cut meats, fruits and vegetables, and a full line of grocery items. Dobbins is known far and wide for their signature sausage in 4 flavors. At Dobbins Supermarket, you'll find local home folks serving the area's weekly grocery needs. Dobbins Supermarket, Highway 71 in Higdon.
It's Valentine's week at Dobbins. Find ribeye steaks for only $9.99 a pound. New York strip steaks, $8.99 a pound. A 10-pound bag of fryer leg quarters, only $4.90. And Mayfield ice cream, 2 for $6 at Dobbins Supermarket.
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. Enjoy the super buffet and salad bar anytime, or have any of our specialty pizzas made to order and delivered right to your table. At Stevie B's in Fort Payne, we make our own dough, assuring you the best possible pizza. Book your parties at Stevie B's in Fort Payne, plus ask about catering and fundraisers too. Call Stevie B's 256-979-1234 and find out more. Great pizza and a family atmosphere. Stevie B's, 2200 Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. Morningstar Dry Cleaners, your local dry cleaners, located at 57 Crabtree Street, right behind Door Crisp Realty in Trenton. Morningstar Dry Cleaners offers a drop-off location for after hours and pickup service for businesses. We wash, dry, fold, iron, press, dry clean, and yes, we do alterations too. Now under new ownership, Morningstar Dry Cleaners. Open until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday for your convenience. Call them today, 657-3685. Morningstar Dry Cleaners on Crabtree Street, right behind Door Crisp Realty in Trenton.
Join us for the Radio and TV Classified, weekdays at 9 a.m., 8 Central on KWN TV.
All right, thank you very much. Well, we've just been chatting with each other while the commercial was on. We're glad to be back.
Yes.
And if y'all can see this here, this is a painting that was done about the Battle of Okinawa. Let's see, there you go. If you can see it here, and Charlie got this at his 50th anniversary, right?
Right.
Of this.
Right.
And Charlie, if you don't mind, sir, tell us what was happening on the USS Kidd when this initial attack came.
Well, we were always on picket duty. We were always in the middle of everything, seemed like.
Right.
Just come out of the engine room, just come off a watch, went back, laid down on my sack, and general quarters sounded. Well, I only had to get up and go across and undog the hatch to get in to the powder room for the powder cans for number 5 5-inch gun. So this was like, say, 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Well, you can hear screws grinding, you can hear guns going off, but you didn't know what was happening.
Right.
So, in the meantime, I guess they said set condition Baker, which meant secure from your battle station, but don't leave the area. Stay right there. Well, they'd come and pulled all the mattresses out of E Division compartment, I guess for the wounded, and to help to plug up the holes in the side of the ship. So I laid down on the springs and went to sleep. I'm honest about it.
Right.
So I woke up. Anyway, I went topside, and they wanted to say, "Where the heck have you been?" I said, "Well, it said set condition Baker." I did. I didn't leave the area. I stayed there. They thought I'd gotten killed, but I hadn't. So that's how I found out what happened to the ship. I didn't know really what happened because I was in the powder room down there. Didn't see what was going on.
So you were where were you on this ship here, Charlie? Do you remember?
Yeah,
back here, right?
In that area there.
Right in the back portion of the
in the E
ship
Division compartment. If it had hit that back there, I wouldn't have found a piece of meat bigger than a postage stamp out there, probably.
Right. Yeah, but there's a lot of emotions and stuff that occur when you're attacked, isn't there, sir?
Yeah. They says, "Were you scared?" I said, "You don't think about being scared. You just react. They say do something, you did it, and you didn't think about it."
Right.
And of course, I was only 18 at the time. I didn't have a heck of a lot to think about, you know.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And,
that's where training comes in because. The thing about that is, you train and you train again, right? And you train again, and you want it to become natural, right? Where the men and women don't have to think about it.
You follow procedures.
Yes, sir.
You do.
Exactly right, Charlie. Yes, sir. Right, and that type of thing.
Right.
Now, Brother Bain, tell everybody here how you had those guys surrender to you. Right? That's a good story. Tell everybody that.
Well, we had walked all night long.
Right.
to get to Dusseldorf,
Right.
the Rhine River comes through town, and we were to secure the bridge if we could get there in time before they blew it up.
Right.
For some reason, they never did blow that bridge up. We beat them to it, I guess. But anyway, we didn't cross the bridge till later. They put in a pontoon for it to get on through over the Rhine River. But we were just entering about daylight and before entering into the city of Dusseldorf, and we had a column of soldiers on each sidewalk and a tank in the middle of us, coming along with us in the middle of the street. And there was two columns, close columns, that came around that tank, and I was right in front of the tank.
Right.
And the company commander was there. And those fellas come around that tank and some way told the company commander that they wanted to go with us. And I couldn't imagine.
Right.
But anyway, they did. And it scared him, I reckon.
Right.
I don't know whether it scared him or not, but he gave orders to fire out of that tank.
Right.
Well, them boys opened up machine guns. There was 16 of those fellas, and then just mowed them down. In the meantime, one of his bullets hit one of my soldiers in the leg. I had to drag him in a little tobacco store there that was open.
Right.
With nobody in it. So I had him in there working with him, and of course the soldiers are going on. They're on their way. They're going toward that bridge. Well, I got behind, and I went on after, and that's not easy to go walking by yourself down through a strange town like that.
Yes,
but
sir.
Anyway, as I was walking down the street, a fella came out of the building on the side there and told me there's 15 men wanted to surrender to me because I didn't have a gun.
I understand.
That was the reason.
Right.
That they chose to surrender to me, because they're afraid the other boys with guns. And so I walked down a little further and pulled over behind the buildings, kind of, and there they came, come out of that building all together.
Right.
And you can imagine what I might have thought. I didn't.
Yeah, you were. How old were you when these guys surrendered to you? How old were you, Brother Bain?
How old was I?
Yeah, roughly.
I was 22.
22 years old, and you had 15 men surrender to you. That's a big challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, they came out. All of them walked out together and just stood there, so nice, and waited. And some of my boys was coming back around below me there with firing in some other buildings, and so I had to just get a hold of them and let them take them, because I couldn't.
Right.
I was in no condition to take care of them,
Charlie, I think if any 22-year-old, no matter who you are, that would be a challenge, wouldn't it?
You betcha.
Yes, sir.
They asked me if I'd do it all over again. Hell yes, I'd do it all over again. I don't know. I wouldn't know anything else but the military.
Right.
Well, it's so sad to think about all the men we left. And when I went back to the 50th after that, I went out to the cemetery, that Normandy cemetery.
Yes, sir.
Because when I went up off the beach, I walked right around the corner. That cemetery just had a little clearing in the woods.
Right.
They'd just started burying the people in it, little bitty.
Right.
And I walked right around the corner of it and straight back to the line. And, of course, I wanted to go back out there and look in the cemetery. I'm sure I could have found somebody if I had been there a while.
Right.
Because we lost so many men right there close.
Right. Yes, sir.
But anyway, that's where I wanted to see, and on my trip back over there, that 50 years later.
Right.
and to see everything as it is now, it's different.
Oh, it's a lot different.
And
Yeah.
I've got some pictures here that it's then and now. Those buildings, certain places, then in the time of the war, and now.
Right.
That's what that is, kind of.
You know, gentlemen, I was telling Ann here the other day that when I was in the 82nd Airborne Division, I was a battalion commander, and Brother Bain, Charlie, we went to they have a conference every year, and so the 82nd Airborne Division was supporting it, and we were jumping in that day, and we did an airborne operation.
Yeah.
And we spent a couple of days there talking to other veterans that have served in the 82nd Airborne Division earlier than we did.
Yeah.
And there was this gentleman that was in there, and he had dyed his hair red, white, and blue, right? Yeah, right. He had dyed his hair red, white, and blue, and he had this book called "War Is Hell," right? And he'd come around, and my wife Nadine and I, she was there with me, and we were sitting at a table with him, and I wasn't sure, what was going to be in the book, like Charlie's got his books there full of pictures and stuff, and that type of thing, and Brother Bain, you do here. Yeah. He had a book called War Is Hell, so we were chatting with him, and finally I said, well, sir, I see you have your book here. You mind if I look at it? He goes, oh, no, that would be great. I'd be honored if you would. So I opened it up, and you know what it was? It was pictures of him and every good-looking woman in Europe, right? So no matter where he went, right, back in the day, right, yeah. He took a picture and he saved it, and he had a whole book of him and attractive ladies from Europe. So we thought that was pretty good for him. Yeah. We thought that was pretty good for him.
Red, white, and blue.
Yes, sir. Red, white, and blue. Charlie, you spent some time in French Morocco and Libya, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in Sidi Slimane Air Force Base in '55.
Right.
And came back and got stationed at Little Rock Air Force Base.
Got it. Right.
Was there 4 years, and then went to Selfridge Air Force Base.
Right.
And while at Selfridge, the Air Force came out in the Daily Bulletin, they were needing recruiters.
Okay.
So I said, well, what the heck. So I went up, I got the regulations, and I typed everything up, and I went down to the recruiting office in Detroit there for an interview. They wanted to know why I wanted to go on recruiting, and I said, I got 4 years left for 20. I'd like to see if I could sell the Air Force.
Right.
And that's how I got approved. SAC turned it down.
Right.
Headquarters approved it. Now I went to Lackland, went to recruiting school, which
right.
was something for me because I'd never had anything like that.
Right.
And my first speech, you're selling something that was not tangible. I made a 99 on it. So
very good.
I was pretty good at BSing, so I knew that. So anyway, I went on recruiting duty in a wife's home state of North Dakota.
Oh, very good. Oh, wow. That's where he's from?
Give her a chance to go back for a short visit. And
right.
That's why.
Right. Yeah, that's North Dakota. It was probably pretty cold up there, wasn't it?
Well, I tell you, it's a hard place to recruit because you can drive 80 miles to a town, to get somebody.
Right.
My biggest enjoyment was I sent 11 guys in at one time for enlistment. And the guy down at Fargo says, Hits, and you said you send 11, you send 11. I said, I'm going to tell you something, sir. When I work up the paperwork on a guy, it's pretty doggone thick. And I said, it's going to be right. And it's
absolutely right.
So I had all 11 of them enlisted at one time.
Right,
so.
right. Yeah, you probably had a whole lot of buddy team actions going on there,
didn't you?
Buddy
system.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have a lot of men from here here from Dade County that joined the military under the buddy system back in the day.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was when I enlisted in '44. It was a guy from Valley Head, a guy from Tifton,
right,
one from Rock Springs, one from Soddy Daisy, and myself from Rising Fund. We all went through Woot together, and we all went aboard ship together.
Now, that's awesome, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, we weren't from the same little podunk town, but
right. Yeah, but you're close enough.
Close enough. Yeah.
Exactly right. Right.
Yeah. And when the ship got hit, none of us got killed. None of us got wounded.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Good.
Yeah.
That a bunch of boys from around here all made it. They went in together and they all made it. That's awesome. That really is.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. All right, gentlemen, we're going to take another break and we'll be back in a few minutes.
The Tax Clinic is now open in a new location as part of the Boss Business Center, 29490 Alabama Highway 71, right across from the ball fields at North Sand Mountain School. With over 40 years of experience, the Tax Clinic provides year-round tax and payroll services. The Tax Clinic urges you to start gathering documents so we can help you file your 2015 tax returns. The Tax Clinic, now part of the Boss Business Center, located at 29490 Alabama Highway 71. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, Saturday 10 to 2. 256-597-3829 for the Tax Clinic, taking care of whatever ails you in the tax world. A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology, the Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main office is on Highway 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Methamphetamine affects everyone, your neighbors, your friends, and even your family.
Know the signs.
Physical symptoms include you may have extreme difficulty sleeping and even insomnia, and you may lose your appetite.
Know the signs. Please know the signs.
You can seem nervous and anxious and even have paranoia.
Know the signs.
Overheat easily and sweat without even being hot.
Know the signs.
Dilated pupils and even hair loss.
Know the signs.
Hallucinations and delusions. And you can also have tachycardia, which is a rapid heart rate.
Know the signs.
You may have liver damage and loss of skin elasticity.
Know the signs.
You may notice unexplained financial instability and social isolation.
Know the signs.
You may have a false sense of euphoria, coupled with strong depression and even risky behavior, legal trouble, memory loss, and repeated incarceration.
Please know the signs. Unfortunately, we do.
Delivering top-quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve. Folks around these parts have put their trust in the Ponder name for filling their prescriptions for decades. Jennifer Ponder Hicks, Doctor of Pharmacy, continues the tradition of fast, friendly, and personal service at Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy is convenient to our customers between Dobbins and North Sand Mountain School, next to Northeast Alabama Health Services. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy gladly accepts most insurance plans, including Alabama Medicaid. When the need arises, have your doctor phone Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy at 597-4020. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy.
Find out what's going on all over Sand Mountain. It's Sand Mountain Community Watch, Wednesday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on KWN TV.
Well, good to be back, y'all. Gentlemen, as we were chatting a little bit, the military teaches us all life lessons, right? Charlie, what are some lessons that you think you took away from your service?
Well, I tell you one thing. When I got out of the service and I come back, I wasn't satisfied at home anymore. It was entirely a different atmosphere that I went through. And I think it teaches a lesson. I truthfully think all young men and young ladies should have a taste of the military, because I think it builds something within them. And not only that, but it proves to you that you can get along, you can do things on your own. Of course, they tell you what to do, and you better do it, and you will do it. But I think it makes a better person of you.
Right, right. You know,
I really do.
I think you know what I've seen over times is the same thing. You learn to be at the right place at the right time, prepared to do the job that you're supposed to do, and I think that helps.
I'm never late.
Right.
I'm never late. I tell you what, I worked in Chattanooga for 21 and a half years after I retired in 84.
Right.
I retired at the age of 79. And I was never late, and I worked the 11-7 shift every other week.
Right, right.
64 hours a week every other week for 21 and a half years.
Wow.
Now, you tell me about being on time. Buddy, I'll shoot you down because I was always on time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the old military that's in you, that's born in you.
Right. Yes, sir.
Proves to you that you can do it.
Brother Bain, how about you? What lessons do you think that you picked up in the military that you've applied to life?
Well, I guess I was a little different than some of them. I had to leave my wife just a few days before she was to give birth to our oldest son.
Right, right.
And I, sitting over there in England just a few days after I got there, and I got word he's arrived,
right.
You know.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I guess I had my mind on what I was going to try to make with all this waiting at home if I was able to get back there. So I did my best, of course, to think about what I was going to find and what I would have to take hold of when I got back.
Right.
Life would be somewhat different, you know. But at that time, I guess we were so glad to think about going home. I don't have any special way to go as far as what I might choose to work and all of this.
Yeah.
Those
are decisions you have to make as you have to figure out when you get there, don't you? Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
But I was so glad, you know, of what I had experienced.
Yes, sir.
One boy that I said went with us all the way through there till right at the last. And he got hit with the Germans threw a shot, that 88, if you ever heard of it. It was a bad gun. And they had an armor-piercing shell. They hit that poor boy right in the chest and just blew him away.
Yes, sir.
And after I came home for a few years, I didn't think much about that. Then I got to thinking about that young man. He's a good boy. And I got to try and find his family over at Bridgeport.
Right.
And couldn't ever find anyone, and I had a fellow run a little ad in the paper.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
And so I did, and his sister called me.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
Somebody had seen it before she did, read it,
right,
and called her. And I had the privilege to make her a nice plaque dedicating in memory of her brother. She was the only lady left of the family.
Oh, I see.
And he was the only son in the family.
Right.
So that was pleasing experience.
Oh, yes, sir.
I finally got back and was able to find that lady.
I know that meant a lot to her. It took a lot of extra effort on your part. I know she appreciated it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know, for me, I've seen so many young men and women, they join the military, and they're not quite sure, but the military helps them, similar to what Charlie was saying, right? You know, and you see them mature in about 3 years or so, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to make it a career or anything, but in about 3 years' time, all of a sudden, even at the end of basic training, moms and dads will be there, and they say, "I can't believe that's my son or my daughter that just marched by," because you see a difference, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, and that type of thing, and I think that's the thing for me. For myself, gentlemen, you know, I had no intention of making the military a career.
Yeah.
I had a 3-year commitment, and at the beginning of it, I wouldn't volunteer for anything that would give me 3 years in a day because I wasn't sure what all, was going to happen.
Right.
But it was because of the camaraderie, right, the sense of teamwork and everything that I ended up staying, and I ended up making a career. You know, so you have a lot of you have a lot of good experiences, right,
Yes.
and life skills that come as serving in the military. There's
I was
no doubt.
over in Camp Butner, North Carolina, for discharge.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
separating
Yeah,
me
yes,
out.
sir.
Wherever I'd go, I had to go to Atlanta to get the discharge. But anyway, while I was at Camp Butner there, I had a dear friend along
Right.
all the battle.
Is that right? Yes, sir.
Right at the last, he got
Right,
killed.
Right.
And so I knew his girlfriend. I'd seen it so many times. He kept that picture up, you know.
Right. Oh, sure.
And so I
right.
knew the address
Right.
even. So
Yep.
I let that girl know about it, that I was there when he was killed. And in a few hours, here came his mother in around that base there.
Right,
She
right.
called me. They had come all the way from Charleston, South Carolina.
Is that right?
up there,
Yeah. Right.
and come up and see me.
Oh, that's
out
very
there.
nice. That's very nice.
Then I had a chance to go out there in Charlotte or Raleigh,
Right.
right close to Butner. It is. So one of my other buddies, he had gotten killed, and
Right,
his
right.
wife was there in Raleigh.
Right.
So I got to go out and find her, and
Right.
I did appreciate, of course, all of that. To think about what I'd seen and been through, and
Right. Well,
think
that was
I was
nice of them
back
to link
home.
up with you. Yes, sir. Right. That was good.
Yes, sir.
It's got. We're laughing about you saw pictures of your friend's girlfriend. Well, I had a picture of my wife in my steel pot that I always had too. So
Yeah.
there's no doubt that all means something to us. Who we left
Right.
behind and,
Yes,
and
sir.
that type of thing.
Yes, sir.
There's no doubt about that. In your books here, both of y'all, it's interesting to see because
Yes.
we just got a few minutes left. You're talking about the way things were, right, and the way things are now.
Yeah.
When I was a captain in Germany, all of a sudden my XO comes in and says, "Sir, there's someone here to see you." I said, "Bring him in." And all of a sudden, this older gentleman steps in and says, "Captain," I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You're in my supply room." Now, I was in my company commander's office, right?
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, keep talking, sir." Well, it just so happened he was assigned to the exact same building, right? Many decades earlier than me. So I said, "Come on, let me take you around." So I showed him around, brought him to
Yeah.
the motor pools. I showed him how the kids live today, and that type of thing, but it was an automatic bond there,
Yeah.
between, folks
Sure.
and that type of thing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Charlie, have you gone to see any aircraft carriers or anything, right, since you're retired?
No, my ship,
Right.
I call it my ship.
Yeah, it should be.
The
Yes, sir.
kid is mounted on a wooden cradle down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, okay, good.
We
good.
got our own museum, own artifacts and everything there. They hold weekend skirmishes on it for all the kids and everything.
Right. Oh, that's good.
And
That's good.
I guess back in 82, that's about right. The governor of Louisiana got behind it, and they hauled the old ship from, I don't remember where it was at, if it was Philadelphia Navy Yard,
Right.
down with a couple of tugs down to Baton Rouge, and the curators got everything replaced on the outside of it. Anything on the inside that don't work.
Right. Sure.
But, But it's beautiful.
I bet it is. I bet it is. It means something to you when you see it, doesn't it?
It's educational. I
Yes,
tell
sir.
you, to go aboard it and to see how we acted, how we lived,
Right.
and of course everything now is you don't do it manually now.
Right.
Everything-
No, I understand.
You know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
Yes, sir.
So
Right. Well, that's great. That's good. That is something to see. It really is. Whenever I've gone back to the many places that I've served at and in command, if I'm there, I always like to swing by and see how things have changed.
Yeah.
And that type of thing, and that's a positive thing for all of us. And gentlemen, we're wrapping it up here in the next couple of minutes, but I wanted to sincerely, it's an honor for me to be here with the two of you today.
thank you, sir.
I want
really
to
is.
thank you and Ms. Brown. I know she thought of doing something.
Yes, sir.
So,
Right.
Have to appreciate her.
Oh, there's no doubt.
It's her program, and she's
Right.
lending it to us today. Is
Right. Yeah. The narrator this week couldn't tie Ann Brown's shoes because she does a great job of this each and every week.
Yes, indeed.
Right. Each and every week and that type of thing. And then
Yeah.
when we do this, as we have about 5 more minutes left, and the what do you think, gentlemen? Both of y'all were married for quite a while now. Y'all about 62 years or so. Charlie, how long y'all been married now?
We've been married 62 years.
62 years, yeah.
This September will make 63.
Oh well, that's quite a while.
Got married on my birthday, and they said, "Oh, you got married on your birthday?" And you know me, I always say, "Hell no!" Got married on military payday, and which was the truth. Because the next day we didn't have any money anyway.
We married just after Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And I was working in West Virginia.
Right, right.
They called me to the service.
Right, yeah.
And the wife and I had married in 42.
Right, yep.
And so we were expecting our son. And I had to leave her. That was hard.
Right.
Yes, that was hard. But we were together up and down these highways 71 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I knew it was 70 or 71. Yes, sir.
71 years.
Yeah. Videla was right there with you to the very end, wasn't she? Right?
Yeah.
Great lady. Yep.
Yes, my goodness.
Right, And I'll tell you what, guys, we have to give our wives credit, though, don't we?
We do.
That's true.
Yep.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. We could not have done,
It's give and take on both parts.
Yes, sir. My joke was, things can go along pretty well, but when are things going to break? When is problems going to happen? The minute you deploy somewhere, right? And our ladies were always back home. They were taking care of the house. They were raising our children, right? And doing that type of thing, and they did a great job, and we're all very, very appreciative of our wives, no doubt.
Just before we go,
yes, sir.
There is a Russian tank that had German markings on it.
Is that right?
And it was 62 years under.
Oh my God!
And they said just a little tinkering with that thing after 62 years been buried in the dirt.
They got it to run.
Said went right to running.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see this, but Brother Maine is showing us his picture, like you said, of a tank that was
under.
Yep. That was submerged, right, for all that time.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Oh my gosh.
Covered up there.
Yes. Oh, that's where they were getting it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
They were getting it out.
Yeah.
That's something.
Right. No, there's no doubt. In fact, for all the folks in Dade County, please, if you get a chance to come down to our museum here in Trenton on Saturdays, because it is really something to see. You'll see anecdotes in there and displays from many of our own Dade County veterans, right, throughout the different wars, the World Wars, Korea, Vietnam, and all the wars in the Middle East. So please, if you can, it's very, very worthwhile, and we'd appreciate it if you come by and see. It's right down there at the American Legion Hall. It's the museum. You can see it right at there at outside the Post Cafe, where everybody comes for breakfast and lunch. There's no doubt about it. And again, just to let everybody know, we have some more World War II veterans that we'll be speaking to here in the future. I have a list of all of them here in town, and we're making contact with them. And we want to make sure that they're able to come and they want to be on TV. But it's an honor for us to do this. And again, I thank Ann Brown for the invitation to be here.
Amen.
We're proud to be on the Around Town TV show, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's an honor for me to be sitting alongside and being able to speak with Charlie and Brother Bain here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your interest, and we thank these men for their service. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been watching Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of staff nor the management of KWN Community TV Channel 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Join us every week for another edition of Around Town on KWN TV 7.